Well, it's Perry Peacock with Wilderness Innovation. Up here with a little bit of a tip for you today. A little bit on use of nuts for camp setup or whatever. So this is a little quickie deal that I've found helpful. So let's take a look at it and see if this might be helpful to you. Here's the thing about knots is you're going to use whatever knots are handy, whatever knots you like to use, whatever knots seem to work best for you. But it's just some stuff that I use, some stuff I do, and so that's what this is all about here. Anyway, one of the common knots I use in camp just for setting up just a line or something like that is I'll do this right here, and that gives me a little bit of a loop here. I can tighten that against the tree like that. I can pull on it pretty strongly. When I'm done, I just pull the knot out like that. I think I've showed it to you before. So that's a handy little knot, but that's not what I'm going to show you today. I'm going to show you something a little different. So I'm going to show you today is a bowline. The thing about this knot here I just showed you is that once you tighten it down, you can't move it up and down the tree, and so it's not adjustable. That sometimes you want to be able to adjust the line once you've got it up, and sometimes you want something a very secure loop. Well, I was watching a week or so ago. Somebody is showing a way to tie the bowline. We always call it bowline. Where it's a loop method, where you're just tucking two loops basically. So you twist a loop counterclockwise, make another loop, push it through that first loop, then take your free end, shove it through that loop, then as you pull on it, it makes a bowline. So that's a slick little way to do it right there. So I got playing around with it. I thought, well, maybe it'd be a little easier way to tie it. So in the end, I kind of came up with a way that I do it like this. So I hold the running end and the free end in my hand. I stick the free end just kind of like this. Then I just take two fingers and I flip it around like this, grab my loop, shove my end through, and I've got it just like that. So that's a little easier to me. So I'll show you that slower. So you want to keep just a little of this hanging out because that's going to shove through your final loop here. So you're just taking two fingers and you're just twisting around. So you're going all the way around and you're grabbing the running end again with your index finger. Pull that loop through there. Then as you're dropping it down, you're sticking the free end of the line through there and you're pulling and tightening. And there we've just made a bowline right there. Now this, see, I can even if I got a little bit of tension on it, I can still kind of maneuver it up and down the tree a little if I need to adjust the height of something. And that way I can do it without having to undo things and stuff like that. But, you know, interestingly, there's a bunch of different ways you can tie a lot of knots. And there you go. So that's very simple, very, very quick to do. Oops. If you get all jammed up here, then it's not as good. But see, there you go. Just like that right there. Very simple. Very simple. And obviously, if you practiced it a bunch of times, you could really fly on this baby right here. You could really do it quickly. And I'm an old fogey, and that goes pretty quick for me. Now, just a moment here, I'm going to show you something else you can do with this knot that can be very handy. Alright, so what I've got now is this is my black sil nylon poncho, the PSSL, and I can use a poncho or a hammock or a tarp or a chair or all kind of different things, and I can use the hood as a tie-out point to hold the center of a tarp up if I want to. It's got a snap in the hood, but I can snap down to the chest, and it leaves a little bit of a loop here right there. A lot of times I just do that. I'm going to show you a different way. Like I could put a rock up in the hood right here and tie a knot around that. But let me show you a way that's even simpler than that. And this can work with the corner of a tarp, the middle of a tarp, or anything. And it works very nicely and it's very secure. Let me show you that one right now. Okay, so what we're going to do, now I've got the free end of my cord here, it's just tied off to a little nub on the back here, just to kind of, that makes it easier just to hold it out of the way for doing what I'm doing here, because instead of using the free end of the cord, I'm going to use the corner of my, the part of my hood here, or the corner of my tarp, whatever you want to use. I'm going to use that as the free end. Everything else in the knot is going to be the same. Now it's a little more, not awkward, but it's a little different to tie it because you're not dealing with something that's all the same size. But anyway, so you just do the same thing. You go ahead and you grab your loop through there. Now instead of putting the free end up through there, we're going to put the corner of our tarp or whatever. Now sometimes some of this you have to push a little bit with your finger to get it started, because you want to make sure that this comes up through. So basically, see, it comes up through and it goes back out the other way, and everything cinches back around it, just like the bowline does on the free end when you tighten it up. Now that right there, that's got enough strength, I would destroy either the cord or my poncho before that thing would give up. Now I'm not using any kind of I'm not using a rock or a stick or anything like that in there. So here's another deal. Here's just a plastic. Sometimes in the winter we use a painter's plastic as a moisture barrier or something like that. If we're making a super shelter, it could be the window of it. So with that, I do the same thing. This is a lot smaller, more flexible than my poncho, so it's a little easier to do it. So I'm just grabbing that through there, pull that thing down, there we go. See how slick that is right there? That thing that's obviously much stronger than the plastic even is. And now, so that makes it a very simple way, without fiddling around at all, very simple way to tie even a plastic or something like that. So anyway, Perry Peacock here with Wilderness Innovation, showing you a little bit of fun knot tying. There's a bowline right there, that quick and easy, quick and nice. Now obviously there's times when that's not going to be the ideal way to tie the knot because of, some whatever reasons or whatever, but hey, a lot of times you're going to be tying it around a tree, just like what I'm doing right here. And this little method right here will work just perfectly well for you. So anyway, so this is Perry Peacock with Wilderness Innovation, having fun in the outdoors. Hope you have some fun outdoors yourself. And hope you find whatever kind of knots you like to use. Use them occasionally. Try out some new kind of knot and see, hey, do I like that one better than something else, It's good to know a few of them. In reality, you don't need to know that many. You just need to get good at whatever it is you're doing. You practice something like this enough, you can tie this thing in the dark, in your sleep practically, and you got it down.